YouTube, gonna look at a ranked game I played off stream the other day, because um, I think it'll go well with the French guide that I just put out, and give you guys an example of how to be aggressive and end the game early against Abbasid. So that's gonna be the goal of this video, show you guys, yeah, how you should play against Abbasid, which I mean, it's simple enough, right? Like, you do just want to be super aggressive and in feudal and try to end the game in feudal, but I think there's still stuff to be learned here, so we will skip through the first little bit of the game. I'm just executing, standard build order that's part of the guide. If you don't know what the standard build order for French would be, but I'm assuming most of you probably know, or if you play French, you know. So I'll fast forward through the early game a little bit here. Turn down the game volume a little bit. It's a little loud, isn't it? And I'm also going to talk a little bit about what my opponent could have done better, because from the Abbasid perspective, because several small things he could have done that would have made a big difference. I don't know if this matchup is technically French or Abbasid favored at the pro level right now, but I know that as a player, someone who loves French, I struggle against Abbasid. As a French player, I struggled to do enough damage before they overrun me. Their spears are better than other Civ spears with the Phalanx upgrade. They also can debuff your knight's damage with camels, and they can outboom you, like, really hard, um, with fresh foodstuffs and 3 town centers. So my first knight is coming out now. My second knight should be in the queue, so this was a little mistake. There it is. It was only a few seconds, though. And I've already scouted that he's on the stone, and I didn't see any spearmen yet, although the barracks is down. Um, for whatever reason, like, this area of the map was black for me, so I sent my scout out here, but I probably should have done this later and just kept the scout over here for vision. But yeah, in this build order, I'm just gonna go, 2 knights into TC, same thing that is in the guide video. So my first knight shows up, and there's already a spear, but that doesn't mean you need to run away or leave or anything. You just need to work around it, right? And I've said this before, guys, but if you think that you can't work around the spears without losing the knight, you're probably right. Maybe you can't do that at this point in time, but you're never going to get to the point of where you get this kind of micro stuff down unless you practice it, unless you try. So go for it. Lose nights, lose games. You're not going to improve if you're not trying to get value out of your early nights. You won't ever get better at it, right? So I think it's important to give it your best shot anyways. Even if you think, oh, I can't micro these knights enough, I might lose them. I just don't think you'll ever get better at the micro unless you try it. So at this point, I've got his spears preoccupied, like I know where they are, and I have one knight here, so I'm taking my second knight on a different control group over to the gold, um, to see if he's on the gold or if he's building the TC on the gold, and I'm actually, at this point, I'm just looking for where he was building the town center. Now, this is where I said I would talk a little bit about the Abbasid side of things as well. This is a big mistake out of him, to give up this. Like, this is a terrible TC placement. It's okay to be defensive with the TC placement, but he's going for economic wing, and he's going for 3 town centers. Just drop this town center on the stone so you can mine your stone for the next town center. And if you're scared that you can't defend the placement of the town center, I mean, just make 2 more spears, right? Just make 2 or 3 more spears, get your spear upgrade, and then place your town center out here. This is terrible. This is not good. This is really good for me. And I'm just kind of, right now, I'm just kind of walking around with my knights, and this town center is so close to his other town center, I don't even see it. So at this point, I'm confused about where his second town center is, but I'm pretty confident that he's not getting one, in a prime location that I don't know about, right? Because I have vision on these berries, And this is what I was worried about. You see, I'm gonna send these villagers out. I mean, these villagers, my scout and my knight this way, because I was worried he might be placing the town center out here. Meanwhile, my knight, you can't do anything with your knights right now, right? Like, there's nowhere to attack. So, and now my town center is going down. Big mistake I made this game. I should have lured the boar and gone onto it immediately. I should have lured the boar over towards the town center and gone onto it immediately. Instead, I placed my town center out here. I'm focused on looking for his second town center, and I'm just totally focused on using my knights and pressuring his base, and I forgot about luring the boar over to my town center. I do get the boar later in the game, but it would have been nice to get it right away, I think. So now he's going out for some resources finally, where somewhere I can pressure. And he still only has these 2 spears. Like, I don't get it, guys. I don't know why he's not making more. And I don't know what the archery range is for either. It's okay if you want to go spearman archer, but you really just need more spears right now. Like, in general, he's working with 3 spears, trying to defend against 2 knights. And yeah, that's just a little bit rough. I would want to have like 5 or 6 spears as the Abbasid player right now. And yeah, I would also have wanted my town center out here, and then my third town center either here or here. So honestly, this is the perfect spot for the third town center, because you'll get the steer and the berries. And this deer is already kind of accessible in the back of your base, just a few walls, and you can gather it, right? So, since he only has 2 spears, one standing here, or 3 spears, one is up here, I'm able to, you know, do more damage on the gold here, get another worker kill. Now I'm up to 2 worker kills, and I'm ahead in villagers, just because of the natural French production, plus the 2 villager kills. Plus, I forced his town center to be in a terrible spot, right? Well, I didn't really force it to, because honestly, if he just made a few more spears, he could have placed it in a better spot, but the combination of my pressure and him making a bad decision resulted in his town center being here. And I bring the knight in from the other side after luring the spears away and get another villager kill. We're now up to 3. All of my knights are looking pretty healthy. I got a little greedy there and tried to get another villager kill, but that's okay. The knight's gonna survive. Something he could have done there that would have been kind of annoying is target firing the scout down. I don't know if it's better to do damage to the knight or target fire the scout down, but I know that personally when I lose that vision, it's rather annoying, so. Oh, looks like I'm not building villager right that second, that's annoying. But, now I'm able to, see that he's going out for this wall and just get another free villager kill and then move on with these knights. It's time to leave the back of the base. This knight's getting too low health, and I don't want to have him hanging out back here, right? Because if I look away for even a second and the spears get a hit on him, he's dead. So at this point, we're ready to group up for a big push. We've done a good amount of damage. We have 4 villager kills, and that's just with the first 2 knights I made. So now I'm producing more knights. I've got an archery range. I guess I'm not producing another knight right this second, but I think I grabbed chivalry in a second here. And we're getting wood for more production buildings right now. And this is a new... Well, no, that's the same knight. So one thing I could be doing better right now, and obviously this just takes more practice and gameplay time, is I could easily be using this small group of units to harass the wood line up here, or anything in his base right now. So, yeah. But instead these units are just kind of gathering to be prepared for a push, and it's not going bad for me or anything. It's just, I just could be getting more value out of these units right now and attacking in on multiple fronts, so something I could be practicing. But these units standing here, they did prevent the wall, so that is nice. More idle time on 2 villagers who are going to come out to build the wall, but are now returned back to his base and are just standing still. And Our friend is really struggling to produce units here. And he's not making villagers out of his third town center, although he did just build it, so there it is. There's some villagers, so that's good. So from this position, I think even with the 4 villager kills, Abbasid still has a decent chance. But I'm not 100%. But the thing is, I really, like, I don't want the game to go long at this point at all, right? I really need to make a big push now because, yeah, I've done damage and I have an advantage, and that advantage will disappear slowly over time, especially since he's on 3 town centers. So, now we have Chivalry, we're making Knights, we've got 2 archery ranges, and a Blacksmith. And I'll be dropping a second stable soon, as well as a, this is horrible, guys. I don't, like, this is embarrassing that this happened. I clicked on the boar with my villagers, and then I forgot about it. I don't know what I was doing. But I think 2 villagers die here. So I just gave up 2 villagers for absolutely nothing to start gathering a boar. There was no reason, like, if you guys watch my games, I don't normally make that mistake. Like, I will micro the low health villagers back and keep them alive. So that was a pretty big mistake. Now I will say this was my last game of the day, late at night, off stream, and I think I had already had a beer. But still, no excuse for that. Losing those 2 villagers, completely sloppy. But now we're ready to make a push on the front line, and I just feel like I'm in a really good position unit-wise right now. And I see the stable, so as soon as I see the stable, I'm going to go ahead and add in a barracks. I think that just makes things easier to just have a few spearmen mixed in with your archers. That way you don't have to constantly, like, protect the archers with your knights as much, and you can target other things besides horsemen with the knights. And to be fair, he's not really making a lot of archers, so he's just making these camel archers. I think he's probably overinvesting. Like, I would just make the 1 camel archer. But 2 is not bad. He's not making more than that, so that's fine. I think the biggest problem for Mr. Horsewood right now is just the lack of spears. He's on 12 spears and I have 7 knights. You really want to be at least, honestly, more than, I want to be more than double on my spearman count when I'm playing into knights. So, his spearman count is not the best, and I'm going to be able to snipe those pretty easily with the archers. So this first fight, I felt pretty confident. I felt like he was pushing out too early here. I could have had a little bit better micro, but right now I'm just target firing all the spears down with my archers, and the knights are just attack moved, right? So this fight actually ends up going pretty well for me, I think. It is pretty close, but I have more units streamlining in. And his spears are almost all dead, right? And once the spears are dead, my knights will just kill everything. Like, literally just kill everything. Which is what's great about knights. And yeah, now all his spears are gone. So, I don't, like, another, like, he's got a second stable. Like, against French, I feel like you want 2 barracks at this point. So, something he could have done. And after that fight, I was feeling really good. And my spearmen are starting to come in as well. And I guess I never did a second stable. Oh, there's my second stable. I've got, you know, 5 knights in the queue. Archers coming out, spearmen coming out. I'm ready to push and end this game. At this point, I do send 1 knight over this way because I saw a villager walking out here. Just to kill this villager. And he is going to have to, I know he's going to have to move out for food over here at some point. So, I do, like, I was trying to check this as well, but once I killed this villager, I thought, okay, there's nothing out here. And I go back to check over there in a minute. But yeah, right now I have more military, I have more villagers, and also I have more valuable military as well, because of the knights. The knights are more valuable. So you can see the army value, I'm ahead by like 1,300 resources here, 1,400, 1,500, and it's just going to be, he's in a really rough position now. And I was gonna make rams, but I realized that uh, like you'll see, I end up taking a fight here, and I realized I could just flood the base, and I don't even end up having to make the rams. I do have my blacksmith upgrades already, except for the steeled arrow. I think I should have gone for that before the melee defense. So I don't know why I went for the melee defense before steeled arrow. That was a mistake that I made. Um, but it is what it is. And you can see the only pressure I've had on me the whole game or the only worker kills or anything, is from my own dumbass losing 2 villagers to a boar. So he hasn't done any kind of counter raid or pressure or anything, which is what he should be doing with probably 5 or 6 of these horsemen right now, is a counter raid to try and distract me and slow my push. Because the more time that goes on, the better chance the Abbasid has of coming back into this. He is building farms. He does have cheaper farms with the thingy thing upgrade, fertile crescents, the thingy thing. But still, you don't really want to be building farms right now when you're getting pushed, so that hurts. I think he should have just had these villagers rush a wall and just taken all these resources and forget about the farms, right? But you can see at basically the perfect time, I'm sending a knight over this way to check on things over here. And it looks like this knight, as I was talking myself up, this knight has decided to abandon ship, even though it was the perfect moment to attack, and turn around and come back to the main army. So that's rather unfortunate. Really bad by me, really bad play by me. I should definitely be checking these resources for a raid. But I was definitely focused on this fight in the middle. That's it's coming in now, and I just have a way better army than him at this point, and there's nowhere near enough spears on the field for him. He's got 8 spears. There was obviously more than that before the fight started, but I have 14 knights. Yeah, he just really needs more spearmen. The knights are just going to clean everything. So at this point, I decided I don't even need the rams, right? And I just decided to flood the base. And I also remember I need to check these resources out here again in a minute. But yeah, I decided to just commit and flood the base and start killing villagers because his army is dead. And my army is clearly thriving. I'm also moving forward for, like, resources that are technically his at this point on the map, like these berries. Because, why not, right? I have full map control. And his whole army's dead, and my knights are just going to start killing villagers, so that's it. That's the game, right? And here comes the knight over here to check on this area. But, I mean, that's game over. And I think it's just a good example of how you can snowball your lead against Abbasid in the early game, and just kind of take them out really early, right? And like I said, it's really important to play this way against Abbasid. Like, I know that it is possible to win in the late game, especially in lower leagues. Like, I get it, but this is the best thing to do against Abbasid, in my opinion. Is just commit to this feudal all-in. Now, the thing is, if you go to their base in the early feudal and you scout a military wing, you do have to be, like, you have to, first of all, if the military wing comes in, you've got to be a little bit more careful with your first knight, right? Because the Abbasid player will do one of two things. They'll use their military wing units to defend the first knight, or they'll use their military wing units to push your base. So in that case, you do need to drop an archery range pretty early, probably before the second town center. So there's things like that you need to be careful of. You also need to be careful of if they go culture wing into a fast castle. But honestly, if they do that, it's probably so they can make guams, and I mean, guams aren't going to do well against knights, even feudal knights, so you can still be pretty aggressive and then just go Castle Age yourself if you want to, and try to kill them in Castle Age, because at that point, you'll have 2 town centers and you'll be scaling your economy, and they're just, like, going for a guam flooding strategy on 1 town center, and they might try to add a second one in Castle, but I think you'll have a good timing to end the game. In that situation, I don't think that's a good build order to use against French if Abbasid players are going for that. So anyways, I hope this helps you with your French versus Abbasid matchups. And yeah, that's going to be that. Y'all have a good one. Like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you in the next video.